What's going on, guys? I wanted to kind of talk about online groups and ways for groups to meet. That's something I get asked a lot about since we have so many online groups. In our context, what we do, we don't have anything self-built at Saddleback. We did at one point we used TalkBox integration. They had some API stuff that was really good. I mean, that was like 5, 6 years ago. And at the time, we had somebody that knew that stuff and figured it out. But then they went to a model that didn't make sense because we had to pay per usage, which was like not going to be affordable. I have 5 platforms that I highly recommend, and then there's a couple other that are kind of rising that we're paying attention to. So in our context, what we do is we tell our groups, we want you to get together regularly, go through some small group material. Either you can watch it before the meeting, like, hey, everybody, watch this YouTube clip or log in here and watch this content. And then when they get together, they talk about it. And we move our groups from text-based to audio to video. Ideally, we want them all to get to video as quick as possible, but many, they're not ready. Maybe they want to start on the WhatsApp and kind of text back and forth, or maybe in a Facebook group, a text conversation or even a text conversation. They'll meet, or Slack, for example. And then we move to audio. Some skip the audio and jump right to video, but audio is usually great, like a phone call or a conference call or a Skype call. That's really helpful. Or even like using Zoom, calling. It's really helpful because it's like the easiest thing. You just do a group call. But video is the best expression. You want all your groups to do video because it's the most intimate. You can read, and even what we have is a lot of our groups, they'll do video, and there might be one person that maybe can't. The variable is bandwidth. As you move into other places in the world, bandwidth is a big issue. And then you have people that are just new believers and maybe are not ready to show their face. There's security issues too when you go into the Middle East and different areas where it's not so public. But I have 5 platforms I recommend, and I'll kind of start and move down to my most favorite. I think number one that I'm paying attention to right now is House Party. It's a brand new app. It's mobile based, and you kind of all get together. You kind of text people, and it's kind of like feels like a Slack video, not a Snapchat video conference like deal, like kind of a chat roulette spin. But it's really fun. It's a great way to get into a video call real quick. I think they leverage other, the tough part about some other video conferencing call systems is that you have to, like, everybody has to call each other. But the one link thing where link this and it links everybody together makes joining a lot simpler versus like somebody having to do like this web call. The video House Party, download it, check it out. It's fairly new. It actually has like a cup, like a red cup, kind of like a party cup that maybe you would actually like think of like for alcohol, but it's kind of like this. You can see that it's super easy to use, and you can see why it's helpful. It's kind of got a Blab. Blab was real popular with Twitter, but Blab now is no longer around, and they're integrating some other stuff. But House Party seems really cool. Google Hangouts are still very popular. I still feel Google Hangouts are awkward. They're not very natural to do. Anytime I get invited to a Google Hangout, I have to remember how to use it. So I don't love it. I think if something happens like if Twitter gets bought by Google, then like maybe there would be some better integration. I still think it's super helpful because you can share your screen, which is really one of the primary features what you want with a Google, with an online group, is you want to be able to share your screen so you guys could watch a video together or do something like that. Most of these services don't. House Party, I don't think has that right now. Another one is Skype. Skype is great. I don't love Skype personally because you do have to call each other, and it's a little bit of like, it can be a pain because everybody has to join. They do have a share your screen, which is good, but it's not necessarily like, it's not ideal, but it tends to be more universal. More people, obviously because Microsoft and everything, and it was one of the first video chats, it's like the primary thing that people think about with calling. So internationally, it's very helpful. But I don't think a lot of people use Skype and love it. Also, it's really easy because if you want to use it as your phone number for your online ministry or for just ministry purposes, you can always have credits. I've done that when I've talked to people internationally. I'll just buy credits because then it's an easy call number and I don't have to like get into like international codes. So I like that feature. Another one to pay attention to use is if you encourage every online group to start a Facebook group, what you could have is you can use video chat in Facebook Messenger, which is kind of like a house party deal, but it's all integrated in Facebook. But the video calling within a group, in a Facebook group, through Messenger, is a very neat feature that is like, I could tell is growing, and I think that's going to be used more and more, especially as they've made Facebook Messenger more robust. And so, okay, so we got House Party is a great app to kind of check out and recommend you people to meet. You got Skype is a great deal to use. You got Google Hangouts are a great tool to use, and you got Facebook Messenger. My primary way for my online groups to use is I still recommend Zoom. Zoom.us is probably the easiest because it's one link. If you want, your ministry can buy a URL, and you can treat it as a permanent meeting room. So like something that we've done before is like, what you could do is that you can buy like 3 permanent URLs, and then you buy like online group, saddleback.com meeting room 1. And the idea is that you can have 3 meeting rooms that people can rotate. And so that's a way that you can do that. It's only like $9.99 a month. So the host, it's 45 minutes free. And then after that, it costs money. But Zoom.us is a great, I have a video, I'll link this down below. I have a video where I unpack how your online group could use that, or your church could use that. It's a very helpful deal for online groups. Now, kind of outliers that I would be paying attention to for online groups, because video chat is always, there's so many cool things, and this is why I tend to say this is how you access your small group material. We want you to meet. Here's 5 tools you can use. We really recommend this one, but you can use whatever you want, because a lot of people have like go to my PC for their work, or Cisco's software for webinar. There's so many different ways to do it. I'm referencing some like consumer-based, level stuff, but other things to be on the lookout for would be Slack video conferencing. Slack video call support is very. I love Slack for texting and instant messaging. I use it for a couple of my teams. I think Slack video calling will definitely be something to pay attention to. It's more enterprise level for businesses, but it's got something, the way it works, it makes sense. It's a little weird to set up at first. They make you pay for some of those features, but video calling within Slack is something to pay attention to for sure. And then I would also recommend the WhatsApp. Has some video calling support. It hasn't necessarily really taken off on all platforms, but the WhatsApp is definitely international, and it's something to be paying attention to. And so those are the top 5 I would recommend. Those are 2 outliers I would be paying attention to. Obviously Twitter, with all the other things with Periscope and stuff, as they do more and they integrate more live in there, I think there's something there. But encourage your groups to meet. Encourage them to meet video if possible. You can recommend some ways to go up. Obviously, even like you think about something like FaceTime calling is still very popular, and group calling on there. I hear a lot of my groups. This is another one to like, hey, you can just do a FaceTime call because you can use the internet and it won't cost money. And so there's so many things out there, but I would definitely recommend Zoom.us. Check out my video where I unpack Zoom a little bit more. And also, if you have a recommendation on a video calling tool that you have for online groups, let me know by commenting on the YouTube video or on my site. So thanks for watching.